Hi, this is Sherry. I'm coming at you for Angel's Whisper, and I'm back at Canyon Lake. I'll let you guys take a look around. I'm having a little bit of aqua problems today because I didn't blow my boat up enough and I'm somewhat sinking. I'm not going to get wet, but I literally feel like I'm drowning in this big rubber tube. But anyway, we'll bear with it, right? I'm just going to try and see if I can keep us turned so that the sun's on me. So you can see, otherwise we're going to be in the shadows. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working today with two different decks. I have Shadows of the Oracle. I always do that wrong. Oracle of the Shadows and Light by Lucy Cavendish, and also by Lucy Cavendish. I told you guys I was going to use my new deck, and it is Oracle of the Mermaids. So I'm going to start first with the messages from Oracle of the Shadows and Light because I want to wrap up with the last one. Today we only have 3 messages. We've got a lot to talk about. A lot of things have been happening. So, since Sedona, lots of new stuff coming up. Okay, so what we have happening, first of all, is we have, I'll flip it so you can see this. Here we go, spinning the wrong way. Okay, I'm going to turn this towards, maybe I should have just let that happen. I'll do it this way. The Sea Beacon Fairy, guidance, but where will it lead you? So you see this mermaid, we've had this one before, but this is really important right now. The number 3 represents completion. And you can, so something has happened once, something has happened twice, something has happened 3 times and it's complete, coming full circle. So there's a pattern that's been repeating, and this is possibly the end of the pattern, or hopefully for people who've been going through this. So what we've got here is we've got this fairy, and she's not a friend, or is she? What we see is a ship. Maybe you can't see it. There's a ship in the distance, and she's got a light on her bat wing and a light here. Bats represent rebirth and transformation. So she's holding up that light, and what she's telling us is that, here, I'll let you guys look around while I kind of paddle a bit. What's going on is she has the light, and she's leading and guiding the way through to an area. But is this area going to be to your highest good? Is she leading you to shore, to safety? Or is she leading you to the rocks, to where you're going to crash? And you think to yourself, okay, that's a ripoff. You know, we asked for guidance. Why is the guidance not clear? Why wouldn't we know? And because what's happening is you're being asked to trust your higher self. You're being asked to focus on not messages that you're getting from others. Oracle messages are great, and guidance messages that we get are wonderful, but what they are really supposed to be used for is confirmation. We need to make our own decisions. We need to make our own decisions based on information that we get from our higher selves and from Spirit directly. So you may be saying, okay, well, that's where I get my information, is through my messages. And that's fine, but you really need to make sure that your messages that you're getting and guidance that you're getting from, say, a counselor or another spiritual teacher or a friend or a family member or whatever, is resonating with your heart and with what your heart is telling you. People can say, oh no, but this is the message, this is what I'm getting. My guides are saying this, or my guides are saying that. Well, your guides are all great and fine, but they're not God. They're there, and yes, there are guides that can lead you in the right direction, but there are also guides that can lead you into a dark direction. So it's up to you to figure out where it is that you're going. And why is this happening? Because it's teaching us. It's teaching us how to trust our own intuition. It's teaching us how to trust what our heart's saying, and not be swayed by what other people are telling us. Because often we'll get messages from ones, and our heart says one thing, but they're saying, oh no, my guides are saying this, or no, I really believe that you should do this, or like moms or dads or brothers or sisters or whatever, they think that they have the answers for you, and they're telling you that they really feel that you should do this or you should do that. And it's up to you. You need to figure it out. And also another message is, for this particular card, is that a perfect solution seems to appear for you to a situation or a problem in your life. And is it really the perfect situation and the perfect solution for you at this time? It might be that you have actually more resources than you had thought about. You have opportunities maybe that you're not quite aware of at this moment. So they're basically cautioning you not to move too quickly, not to jump at the first opportunity that comes, but possibly wait and check all of your sources. Again, here we go with the dark, with your inner wisdom, and make sure that what you're getting from these sources coincides and goes along with what your higher self is telling you and what your heart is telling you. Pay attention to your dreams is what they're saying, because dreams are very accurate guidance for us. I rely so much on my dreams. I trust my dreams over anything. It's hard to do with one hand because they keep making us go in circles. So that message is probably, I'm going to wrap that up with saying that I know situations right now in people's lives are going on where they have had guidance from ones that they felt were spiritual teachers. And unfortunately, not all spiritual teachers are who they say they are. There are angels of light, and there are ones that are masquerading as angels of light, who are actually energetic vampires that are saying and doing things that are incorrect, and they're doing it for all of the wrong reasons. Now, one way that you can tell if the messages that you're getting and the guidance that you're getting is correct is that spirit doesn't change its path, not quickly. The messages that you get from spirit will be consistent and steady and loving. They're never harsh. They can, of course, sometimes we have to have things brought to our attention. But spirit's always very loving, but it's always steady and consistent. It's not going to go up, down, sideways, and shift all of a sudden. It doesn't do that. Of course, there are circumstances where things change and things do shift, but it'll be a curve. It's not going to be like one way this way and one way that way. It's going to be steady. So you check with your sources and your feelings and your messages that you've gotten. And if what you're getting now is going completely off kilter from where you've been going all along, you double check. And what you want to do is you want to go not to your spiritual advisor, not to your mother or your father, but you go straight to your highest source of information, the Creator, and you ask Him, I need you to send someone down to me, someone on my team, to come down and point this out very clearly to me. And I'm asking you to do it. I want you to come down and help. You're my Father. I'm coming to you. So this is my advice to you, and the messages actually that I'm getting from Spirit to pass along to you. So that's the first message. The second message that we get, I'll let you look around again. I'm kind of washing up on shore, which is fine. I'm not moving around so much. Oops, sorry, I moved my face away from the camera, and then you can't hear me. I get in trouble for that. Whoops, sorry. And now you guys are probably being blinded in the light. Okay, so the next message that we're getting is, where is it? Come on, let's dig it out. Take a look around here. Maybe we'll see a beautiful crane. We saw a beautiful blue heron just go by and a crane go flying over, which was awesome. The crane speaks of noble guardianship and secrets and longevity and soulmate connections and standing on your own 2 feet. And the heron again speaks about standing on your own 2 feet and trusting in your own guidance and your own inner self and intuition, which goes along well with these cards. So if they go floating by or flying by, that's their message to us. So the next message that we get is Eclipse Mermaid, a powerful energy shift, which is really intriguing because at the end of this month we have, I think it's the 28th or the 29th, we have a full moon solar eclipse. So it literally is happening right now. And what it talks about, it's a powerful energy shift. Here, I'll let you see that. And so what it's talking about right now is, I don't know if many of you have felt it, but we've got a real, whoa, it's dark. We've got a real flux of energy going on that a lot of people are affected. A lot of people have been feeling out of sorts. A lot of people have been feeling upset or confused or discombobulated, or there's just all kinds of energy shifting that's happening right now. A lot of people have been talking about it because of these big energy shifts that are happening. And so when the Eclipse Mermaid comes forward, she's talking about a deep and energetic emotional shift that's going to be happening in your life. And at this time, can we get out into the sun? Hold on a second. I'm going to see if I can get us out. Okay, if I go that way. You know how before I said I needed an extra pair of hands? I need an extra pair of hands and an extra couple pair of oars. Hold on, I'm gonna... You're gonna row with me. Hopefully I don't drop my phone in the drink. A boat just went by, that's what's wrong. And I just got spun. Which actually is apropos for this message, because that's what's happening right now. There are things that are happening that are spinning people out of control. There are things that are shifting around and knocking people for loops. This is a time when scandals are being told, truths are being found out, things are coming out. This is ridiculous. Hold on a second. I'm going to literally put you down. I'm so sorry, but I'm taking us out of here. I know you're not seeing anything, and that's ridiculous, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Sorry about that. I was just getting slammed in underneath the dock, so I had to put you in the darkness for a little while, which goes along with this message, actually, because like I said, there are revelations and scandals and truths being told. You might find the urge to change drastically things in your life, people that you hang out with, the things that you're doing for yourself, the way that you dress, the way that you eat, the classes that you take. There's just, you have an urge of change. There's a huge shift of change in the air that's happening. And because of this, because of truths being told and secrets being revealed and scandals coming about, it could leave you feeling emotionally unstable, which you might be feeling like you're in the dark, which is where I just had to put you guys in the little dark for a little while. And so what they're saying is, allow this darkness time to happen. Oh my goodness, we're completely in the dark. Okay, I'm just gonna stop fighting it. I'm just gonna go with it, because that's what we're gonna have to do with this message. So basically what they're saying is, if you were on your right path, if you were on your true soul's path at this time, that when this goes on and happens in your life, it will feel unsettling possibly, but you're going in the right direction, so things will go well for you. And you won't feel so much of a disruptive feeling in the air. But if you haven't been walking on your true soul's path, you haven't had your foot placed on the path that you're meant to have it put on, then it's going to be very possibly surprising, catch you off guard, upsetting, and it's a very tumultuous time. But whatever case, whatever happens, it's in your highest good. That's what you have to remember. Everything that happens to us is in our highest good. So even if it is upsetting, or even if it is discombobulating and you're not quite sure where you're going and you feel like you're in the dark, remember that Spirit is always guiding us forward. So allow the change to happen, and truly, like according to an eclipse, we're not going to stop the sun. We're not going to stop the moon from covering the sun. We're not going to stop any of the energies that are happening in the earth. They're going to happen. And that's the same thing with this eclipse in your life. You're not going to be able to stop it. And there's really nothing you can do to prepare for it. You just have to be ready and see it when it's coming, and understand what the messages are for you and what is it that you're meant to learn. And again, this is when we go to the Creator and we say to the Creator, what is it that I need to know? What is it that you need to that I need to shift in my life? Oh, here, I'll hold on to this wire. See, they gave us a lifeline. There we go. There's another message. I feel like this is just getting out of control. I'm spinning around and around, and I'm not able to get things under control, and all of a sudden there's a lifeline. So remember that you can always call on your highest self and your spiritual team and the Creator to help you go through these shifts that are happening and understand what you need to understand. Also, what comes to me? Nothing. I'm just going to leave it there. I was going to say something else, but I think I'll just let it be. How funny. I'm completely under the umbrella. So we're under protection of the umbrella. And remember, call on your Creator. Call on Him. You know, we have His Son and we have His archangels. But a lot of times, people get so used to calling on Archangel Michael and calling on the other angels that you forget that you have a Father who is guiding you and loves you and wants the best for you. So when you are in a situation like this and you're unsure as to where to go and things are confusing for you, you're supposed to call your Father for help. Do you know, sometimes, I'm going to say something to you. I wasn't going to say it, but I think I will. We have a higher self, and we have an oversoul, and we have another oversoul. We have many higher selves. Don't know if you were aware of that. And sometimes, even though they are all of us, aspects of us in different levels and dimensions, sometimes there might be somebody on your team, your higher self, that's not really pulling their weight. It's not doing their job. They're kind of lazy, you know, they're kind of sitting around. And you may wonder why things aren't shifting or why things aren't happening. And sometimes you need to say to your higher selves, take it into your own hands and say, look, you know what? Whoever up there's not doing their job, step off my line and allow somebody that's got a little bit more going on to step in. Because there are things going on down here that you need to address. And you need to step in. Somebody with a little bit more clout or a little bit more interest in this needs to step in. Because we are in control as well. This is us that we're talking to. I'm not talking about being disrespectful to the Creator. But you can tell your own higher selves to snap into shape and get yourself moving here. Because you know what? I've been struggling, I've been working, I've been listening to my guidance, and I'm asking you, whoever it is up there that's not doing your job, if you don't want to do your job, step off my line. And let somebody else that's in a little bit better shape step in and take over. I just did that last night, and man, it worked. And straight after I spoke to him, I went to my Creator, or to him. Funny that I would call my higher self a him. There's my masculine energy coming through. I was a warrior in many past lives, but I always thought I was a female. I guess not. That's the Aries in me. But you go to the Creator, like I said before, and you say, look, you know, I've been doing everything that I've been guided to do, and I'm in this situation now, and it's confusing, and I need clarity, and I'm going straight to you. And I'm asking you to please dispatch whoever you feel is in my highest good that will give me the clearest and straightest answers right now. Please do that. I'm asking for you to do that. So that's what you can do. Okay. So the last message that we're getting is from the Oracle Mermaids deck. And the message is Atlantis, rapid development, excellence, success. And you know what's really interesting about this? I'm very connected to Atlantis myself. I'm Pleiadian, and I have a connection to Lemuria and Atlantis. I've known of this from a past life, but I've always been very connected to the ocean. I have a mermaid tattoo, and so some of you may feel, you know, affinity to the dolphins. The Pleiadians brought the dolphins, and you may have an affinity to Atlantis or mermaids. So at this time, what's really, really interesting is, I don't know if you saw on my page, I wrote more about it on my personal page than I did on my spiritual page. I should transfer it over there as well. But the deal was, I went to a place when I was in Sedona. I'm trying to get the light. I went to a place when I was in Sedona, and it was called Angel Valley. And it was, I had heard in my dream, no, I was up in my cave, that's what it was. I was up in my sacred cave, and I heard, you need to walk the labyrinth. And I thought, okay, and I looked down at the bottom of my cave, at the bottom of the stupa, and I saw the medicine wheel, and I thought maybe I should go walk the medicine wheel, but that's not what I heard. I heard you need to walk a labyrinth. So I paid attention to that. You know, I listened to the messages that I get in my head like that. It was definitely a different voice that was speaking to me. And so I'm going to show you our first actual visual totem while I'm speaking. Come back here, baby. We've got a red dragonfly. Dragonflies talk about transformation and holding on to your dreams. He'll come back. That's okay, babe. I'll go back here. So dragonflies talk about holding on to your dreams, transformation, seeing past the illusion, which goes with our other messages about secrets and lies being discovered and truths being told. So they're asking you to use your eyes of discernment to see through the waters of illusion. Water is emotion. And that we're in and because going along with the energetic shift that's happening with this eclipse, it talks about the transformation and changes that we're going through. So that's an appropriate totem to show up. But this Atlantis message, I'll let you look around this way because I'm not quite sure if you're seeing into the sun or not. He's still going to just chill with us. Isn't that cool? And red means passion. So this Atlantis card, what it's talking about is at this time you may feel a connection to crystals, right? To heal with and work with other people telepathically. A desire for something more meaningful in your life. It talks about past life memories possibly surfacing. Atlantean lives or energies with dolphins or sea creatures resurfacing. You may have all of a sudden have a desire. Now I know we're going into winter, but you could have a desire to learn how to surf or learn how to swim. Something to do with the water. You could be feeling pulled towards water. Connections to sacred sites. So this is why I was going to tell you. When I was up in my cave, when I came back down, I went on Facebook, and you know how every year they show that what happened today a year ago, or what happened on this day 2 years ago. Well, what popped up the very first thing when I got back from my sacred space was a labyrinth that I had posted a picture of the year before that was in Sedona. And what was interesting is I wasn't in Sedona at that time, but clearly I was meant to go there, and it was this place called Angel Valley. So of course I set about right away going to find this place, Angel Valley, and I went there. And when I got there, I felt something that came to me. I heard, I'm trying to think if I got the dream before. No, I got the dream afterwards. Okay, so I get to this place and I drive in the gate and I see on the sign Lemuria, Lemuria, and I thought Lemuria, that's connected to Atlantis and the sunken cities and the Pleiadians, and that's interesting because that's what I'm connected to. So I drive into this place and I go into the labyrinth and I walk the labyrinth, and the large labyrinth is actually what they said it's a landing pad for aliens. I don't know how you feel about that. I used to not have, be too sold on it, but now I have a completely different view on it. I've seen them myself. Oh, there we go, light. Let there be light. So they're saying that this is a landing pad, and what it is literally, I spoke to different people, and they said that this is the new center of the new Lemuria, and it was more of, when you walk the large labyrinth, it was more of your past life connections. It was more of your a galactic. Oh, that's what it was that I was going to tell you. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna regress just a little bit. I got a message the night before. I went up to my cave, and you might recall it on my page if you follow on my page. And the message was, someone of a galactic being is coming to you with a message from a heavenly source. Remain open. So that's when I got to this place. They were talking about Lemuria. I thought, how intriguing is that? This guy wants to hang with us, like big time. Hey, bud. I love it. Little helicopter buddy. So this was all about Lemuria, and I thought, oh, interesting. So as I walked the labyrinth, the big one, and he says, if you have an experience, could you come back and let us know? And I said, all right. So I walked around the labyrinth, and instinctively I started talking about my spiritual work and my ascension process and issues like that, and I got very overcome and I started crying. It was interesting. And then I left that labyrinth and I went to the smaller labyrinth, and I felt more comfortable there. And as I walked around that one, I spoke about my more 3D life, whereas the first one was more fifth dimensional kind of, spirituality and things like that, whereas the little labyrinth was more about what was going on in my actual 3D life. And then when I went back up to talk to him, he said, did you have any experiences you'd like to share? And I said, well, and I just told him what happened. And he says, well, that's interesting because that's exactly what the labyrinths are. The first labyrinth is of a galactic nature, more connected to your spiritual higher selves. And he goes, it's the center of the new Lemuria, Lemuria. And the smaller labyrinth is more about your 3D life and your work and the things that are going on in your life in this 3D world. And I thought, wow. So I instinctively just walked the labyrinth, and those things came to me. So then I left, and I went back to help my buddy Ryan paint, and we were hanging out and we had all the stuff, and I ended up staying at his house. And every time I stay in his house, he has a brass pyramid. He makes these pyramids, argonite, and they're amazing. I don't know, I dream so well in this structure, and I went into this room and it was like living in a room of a queen. But every time I go to Ryan's house, I dream really, really well, and I usually dream with him. And we go on, we've traveled before many lifetimes, I've seen us. So this time, I didn't sleep. I don't know if I've mentioned to you before as well that while I was in Sedona, I was waking up every night at 3 in the morning. Well, I still am tonight. Last night I did as well. But I've been waking up every morning at like 3 in the morning, and it takes me a while to go back to sleep, and didn't get a lot of sleep. Well, this night, I was exhausted. I had been doing this for almost 3 weeks, and Ryan and I had been painting until, 12:30 at night. And then here I am waking up at 3 in the morning. So I thought, this night I want a really good night's sleep. Well, that was not to happen to me. I woke up at 3:15 and I did not sleep again. And I thought, really? I gotta drive back to California tomorrow, 7 hours. You could have let me sleep. Like, why did this happen? Of course, every time I ask that, why did this happen? Everything happens for a reason. Every single thing happens for a reason. If I could take these off and actually speak to you. There. It's getting kind of dark in here. So everything happens for a reason. And I said, so why did this happen? Why is it that I wasn't able to have any sleep? So I'm dozing there, not dozing. I was hoping to doze. I had my eyes closed. I kept praying that I was going to fall asleep eventually, you know, instead of just lay there in this exhausting feeling of non-sleep. I'm going to let you look around. And what happened was, I think I must have dozed off for about 20 seconds. And it was literally 20 seconds, and that was all. I didn't sleep any longer than that. I know for a fact I did not. And in that 20 seconds, a woman came to me. Whoa, we're going on out. Going on out. There we go. We're going on the lake again. A woman came to me. She appeared to me. And she walked up to me and she was speaking to me. And I didn't hear what she said. Not of an earthly nature. But she was speaking to me. And she was standing there and she had, I noticed in her hand, a handful of these turquoise clear crystals. And she walked up to me and she placed one in my hand. It was the largest crystal. So it was for me to keep. And I heard in my head, nothing. I heard nothing. I heard nothing from her. I heard nothing that I was aware of. And it was only 20 seconds and then I woke up. And I never went back to sleep. So as I was sitting there, I was thinking about the crystal, and that's when I heard in my head, Lemuria. And I thought, Lemuria? That's interesting. Lemuria. And so I looked up Lemurian crystal. And I looked to see if there was a turquoise Lemurian crystal, and there was. And it talked about connecting with energetic beings and being open to telepathically communicating with ones and being given guidance from our star planet and from other star beings. And I thought, that's fascinating, because that's what happened when I was drawn to this place. And according to this message of Atlantis, this is a time when you're connected to ancient sites. This is a time when you have feelings of higher powers and abilities returning to you. This is a time where you feel a sharpening of your abilities and your gifts, a time of developing new abilities and gifts, and seeing how quickly that you can advance. This is a time of high flow and high vibration and brilliance and of logic, everything being heightened. So now I'll tell you why I wanted to save this card for last. When I was in Sedona, especially when I was with Ryan, before I left for Sedona, when I was in California, I was told in my dreams that I was going to have a new focus of my spiritual work. And I've been wanting to expand and do something more than just the readings that I do. Not that they're not important, because they are. But I knew that there was something coming, and it's been coming for quite a while. I had the Anasazi I told you before that approached me and said that there was a gift. And remember, they approached my mother, and I said, I want to do it, I want to do it. And the message was the Anasazi, he handed my mother this letter. And he said, can you look at this and tell me what you think? Would you sing this for me? And I'm jumping in the background going, I'll sing it, I want to do it. But he wouldn't look at me. And I kept saying I wanted to do it, I wanted to do it. So he said to me, I'll be back. Well, he came back when I was in Sedona. And while I was in Sedona, I was told, you will be going into people's houses and cleaning out their rooms. And I thought, what? And I literally started doing it. I did it before I came to California. From California. I did it while I was in Sedona. I've been doing it for quite a while, and I wasn't really realizing what I was doing. So then I got another dream, and it clarified it for me. And basically what I'm doing, and it's a service that I'm going to be, I am offering. Like I said, I've been doing it for quite a while, but I've never actually offered it to anyone before. You all know how I'm very connected to my dreams, and my dreams are prophetic. And I get most of my messages through music, my animal totems, and my dreams. I trust my dreams more than I trust anything. I told you that guides and oracle cards and spiritual teachers, even such as myself, we're all great for guidance. That's wonderful. But I trust my dreams before I trust anything. That is, to me, the direct source from the Creator. So in my dreams, what I do is I go in my dream time into another person's energetic house. This is your energetic, this is your house, you, yourself, your being. So I go into their energetic house and I sweep through the house, sweeping through each room, looking to see where there are blockages and where there are issues, what's going on. I'm shown what's going on. And then I clear the debris, the energetic debris and the karmic debris, and I clear and balance your chakras. And it's interesting, and that's what I call it, energetic housekeeping. And so that's what I've been doing, and I've been doing it for quite a while with several people, but I haven't offered it to clients before. And this is what I'm going to be doing. So I had this happening, and how it's been working so far is that I've been in my, it's actually been dream time. You can actually do it in meditation as well, but it's been in my dream time. And I have gone into people's situations, and I've seen what's going on, and I've been shown. And I wake up in the morning and I think, okay. And what's interesting is, as it has always been with me, and I'm not sure how it is with other spiritual teachers, but it has always been with me, that whenever I have a message for another, it's also a message for myself. That's why it's always so wonderful, because it's guidance, continual guidance from Spirit. So with this situation, I've been going in, and like I said, sweeping through the house. I see what's going on. I'm shown what's going on. I clean it up. I did it for my buddy Ryan. I just was given this stone. This is very cool. Interesting. I'm going to look this up, but I just was gifted this just now. It just fell into my hand. I had several dreams. I had about 6 dreams with my buddy Ryan before I went to Sedona, and I wrote to him and I said, Ryan, why have you been in my dreams all the time? And he's like, I don't know. You know, and usually Ryan's aware when I'm in his dreams, but this time he wasn't. And so when I got back there, I said, you know, I think we need to go over these dreams. So I told him the dreams that were going on. And it was situations, I knew what the messages were for me in my life, but they were situations in his life, and I had done this energetic housekeeping. Literally, I was shown myself doing it. And I've done it again. I did it this morning 3 times with people. I did it last night. I've done it with many other people. And it's amazing, because when you're in your dream time, you're so connected. There's no interference with your ego mind. Your ego mind is actually at rest. So there's no contradiction, there's no agenda, there's no nothing but higher self and spirit, which is the creator and his angelic team. And when I do go into your home, when I do this, I always ask, only those of the highest order of love and light be in my presence. And I say to my client, you need to prepare as well, and you need to say, before I work with you energetically, only those of the highest order of love and light will be allowed to stand in my presence. And you repeat it 3 times for completion, so that you know that only someone of the highest of integrity is coming in. You don't want just anybody to come in your field. That's another thing that you need to be careful of with these messages that I've been getting, is that you can't just let anyone come into your energetic field. You need to know that you can trust the people that you're giving your information to. And that's where I'm going to segue into this spot right now. I've told you enough about the other. And this card, we're done. That's what the card had to say. But I'm being asked to caution people about who it is that you speak with. On Facebook, we tend to get very close to people quickly, because we spend a lot of time speaking with them. We see them every single day, even though it's, only in the internet. We see them every single day, and we develop friendships with people. And we let people into our lives feeling that we know these people, when in fact, do we really know them? It's been a really big lesson to me, because I'm very, very trusting, and I'm very open, and I have been guided to not be so open. And I don't mean for you guys to be suspicious, and I've never been a suspicious person, but that's how we can get in trouble, is that if you haven't been, if you've been too open like I have, you allow people into your energetic field, and you bring people into your personal business, and they may have an agenda that you're not aware of. And a lot of times they're not even aware but they may be allowing their personal feelings to get involved in what they're giving you. But they can't help but be affected by the things that are going on in their own personal life, because after all, they're human. When people come to me for advice, and even just friends, I always go to Spirit first. And I've literally had a friend say to me, you know what, sometimes I don't want to hear from Spirit. Sometimes I just want to hear what you think. And I said, I can't do that. I'm sorry. This is what I do. And I can't ever just go and give you what I feel about something. I have to check with Spirit and make sure that the things that I'm going to be saying to you are correct. Because if you take my advice and you move on something that I say to you and it's harmful for you, I'm responsible for that. And I can't be responsible for anything such as that. I need to know that I have Spirit's backing, and I'm doing what Spirit wants me to do, and the information that I'm giving is what Spirit would advise me to give. So what I'm being advised to tell you guys is be very, very careful about who you speak with, and make sure that the messages that you do get from people, even if they're spiritual teachers, if somebody is giving you messages and giving you guidance, and you're following that guidance, make sure that it goes along with what your soul is saying, what your higher self and your heart has been telling you, what your consistent messages have been throughout a long period of time. Don't just take somebody at their word because they're a spiritual person. There's a lot of people who call themselves angels of light and they're not. It's sad, but that's what it is. And just like in the beginning with the lantern fairy, that's why this is coming up, because sometimes we're shown a light and we follow it thinking that that's the only way or that's the way that we should go. But we are being cautioned to make sure that this light that we are following is actually in our highest good. And it is happening for our highest good because it's teaching us. It's teaching us to trust ourselves and our own intuition and listen to us because we have our answers inside. Often we go to other spiritual teachers. Even I will go and ask. I have friends that are very gifted, and I'll ask, and it's basically a confirmation for what I'm getting myself. But if what I get from somebody else is very much contradictory to what I'm getting from spirit, and forget what I'm getting in my dreams, I go with my dreams every time. Thank them for their thank you for your help, but that's not what I'm getting. That's not what I feel. That does not resonate with my heart. So like I say to all of my clients, this is your reading. This is what I'm getting energetically for you. This is the answer. But this needs to resonate with your heart. You don't make any decisions based on what I tell you to do. This must be something that you check with your own higher self and the Creator, and you meditate upon it before you make any actions. Don't base your decisions based solely on what I tell you.